Hey you guys, so I decided to make a video about repotting my peace lily. This is my first peace lily and I've never repotted one before, but I'm very excited to give this plant what it needs to thrive and survive during its growing season, which is right now in the spring. As you can see, there is a lot of roots and the roots have taken over the soil and have even poked out the top of the plant. This plant also has yellow leaves as well. This image is actually from the first time I brought the peace lily home, which was at about a month before I actually repotted the plant. I had to wait to repot the peace lily because I wasn't sure on the right place to position the peace lily in my apartment. I had windows, very large windows, where in the afternoon it would get too bright and would burn the peace lily's leaves. And so I had trouble with that. And when I got her down to a good spot, I then began to water her and she would not stay perked up. Therefore, I decided this would probably be a good time to start the repotting process. I'm sad to say that during the pruning process, which is when I am cutting the leaves off the plant that are not beneficial, that this is the amount of leaves that I lost. The yellow leaves were not old leaves. They were kind of like baby leaves, which leads me to believe that they weren't getting enough nutrients as they were growing because there wasn't enough soil left in the pot for them to survive. I'm really sad about the green leaves as well because those were older leaves, but I could not bring those back to health either. All right, you guys, so I'm going to be filling up this with like a liter. This is like 2 liters of water that can fit in here. I only have one peace lily, so I doubt I'll use all of it, but this is what I'm going to use. It's going to be distilled water that's going to be in this 2-liter container. And then I only need, since I only have this much water that I'm using, only need less than half a scoop of that pink stuff, which is the tomato plant food. I only need less than half of it. So I'll be using this little scoop and then not even using a full amount of that little scoop. First up, we have the cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix fast draining formula going into the beautiful pot that I have purchased for my peace lily. That's 1 scoop in there already. Here is 2 scoops. And I'm gonna fill it maybe like an inch high. I don't know. Do a couple, maybe like 4 more scoops, and then I'm going to place the peace lily in there. This is an image of all the scoops in the pot. I hope you guys can see the little indentation that I made for the peace lily to sit in. All right, so right now I am upsetting the soil. Not like upsetting it, but like loosening it up so that I can get the root ball a little bit loosened up. They were very tightly compact. They did grow around the side and the top. Some of them even poked from the top of the pot. So I did go ahead and, do like that to kind of like mess it up a little bit. So I can get those roots that are poking out, pointing into a different direction. There's no telling if it would grow out of the top again if I hadn't done that. So I'm just upsetting the soil by squeezing it so that the roots can get a little loose, and then hopefully that'll help it fill out the rest of the pot. Now I'm just going to take the indoor potting mix and start filling the sides up. Make sure as you're doing this, your plant is even try to keep her even and patting it down. Not too hard, but good enough to where it's stable with the plant. And I'm going to do that all the way around. I know it may seem like I'm rough handling this plant, but I'm really not. I'm being very, very gentle, okay? Now that I've filled up the sides with the indoor potting mix, I'm going to cap off the plant now with the cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix. This is the fast draining one. So I'm just completing what I said earlier. Start off with this one and then do the indoor and then end it and cap it off with the fast draining mix again. And then I'm going to take her to get a shower. So here is some more information about the pink stuff that I mixed with the water earlier. It's Miracle Grow water soluble tomato plant food. It says tomato plant food because it is for tomatoes. I'm using it on the peace lily because all the other videos that I watched said to use something that was even, like a 20-20-20 mix. And the tomato plant food has a 18-18-21, and that is the most stable or even fertilizer I could find in my area. So let me show you what I mean by those numbers. See that right there, that 18-18-21? Here's that breakdown. Nitrogen, sorry for the unstableness of my hand. Nitrogen, 18%. Phosphate, 18%. And that potash thing, I forgot the full name of that, 21%. So that 18%, 18%, 21% is that right there. So it was recommended on YouTube that we get something that looks like that for the peace lily. And this is supposed to stimulate the growth of the white thing, the white spathe in its flower. That's why you get something even like this. But the other, like fertilizer for foliage to get darker green leaves, then you would need to use something that has more nitrogen in it. And I really do want those green leaves, which is why I use the indoor mix with the cactus mix, because the cactus mix is very low in nitrogen and is lower in these things here, but the indoor is not, makes up for that. So that's why I created the mix the way I did. It's because of that reason. So tomato plant food is for the white flower. It's to encourage it. Hopefully I can get it to come. So this is the peace lily after 72 hours from being repotted. She's doing well. She's very green and perky, and I will have to keep my eyes on her to see if anything changes to be sure that I did a good job in repotting the plant.